Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be the evolution of the Goth scene here in Belgium and how it currently is, because a lot of people have been asking me how it is down here, if the Goth scene is dead, etc. So for the purpose of this video I made a list of when I started getting into the Goth scene, the events I attended, etc. so I can have a nice overview for you guys. So as some of you already know, if you have seen my Goth evolution or my style evolution video, I started really getting into the alternative scene, the Goth scene, into 2007. Now that was mostly online, so I was on a site called Vampire Freaks and on a few forums as well, and that is where we discussed new music, new artists. I played a lot of music on YouTube and back then still on MySpace. Now I also went to quite a few concerts, and there was this one Goth magazine in the French part of Belgium where I used to live called Crypt au Goth. And this was actually a magazine that I used to love reading because it would always contain like band interviews. There would also be like book suggestions and other things that I found really interesting. So that was from about 2007 to 2009. That is how I was involved in the Goth scene. So yeah, basically on my computer and sometimes going to concerts. Now it is in 2010, when I turned 18, that I started going out. Now there were a few parties. The main parties that I went to, that was Nocturna, which was in Ghent. Then we also had Vampire Party, and then we had Bunkerleute, and Bunkerleute is actually in Leuven. But back in the days there used to be at least one thing to do every single weekend. Vampire Party was twice a month, so every second and every fourth weekend. Nocturna had another schedule, I think it was only once a month, but still we had something to go to almost every weekend, which was amazing. And then Vampire Party also had their live editions, which started I think in 2011. So they were called the Vampire Party Live. We actually had a few of them, I think 3 or 4 editions, on which the bands came to play, so it was like a mini festival here in Belgium. And I really appreciate the effort that Vampire Party made. They even had concerts at the regular venue, so at the venue where we had a party on. I remember Nachtmar had their CD release there, so the band was playing live for us, which was absolutely amazing. But yeah, unfortunately a few years ago, when the main organizer of Vampire Party got married and was thinking about kids, he moved to London and he tried to still revive Vampire Party or keep it going, but I think it was really hard, and that's one of the reasons why the party stopped. Now I've also noticed over the years that less and less people came to the parties. So from 2011 to 2013 was the high peak of the Goth movement here in Belgium. We had the Vampire Party Live, we had Nocturna XXL, so those were actually editions in a super big venue of Nocturna, so of the party, with like black lights and extra decorations and stuff. It was really awesome. We also had Gothic picnics, so every now and then we would go with a group of friends and make like a Facebook event, a Gothic picnic, and everyone would show up dressed up. Now there are still some picnics happening, but it's more like steampunk and Victorian, and I might be dressed a bit Victorian today, but that's not really my style. So yeah, I think it's really a shame that those events don't happen anymore. And Vampire Party also had road trips, and those were actually organized by David, so the main organizer. So there were bus trips to a concert venue or festival. We went to Matrix in Bochum quite often. That is a venue with multiple floors with multiple types of music, which I personally really enjoyed. Vampire Party also organized trips to Amphi Festival, where he arranged so the bus trip to the festival, the tickets, and also a hotel where we could stay. It was a really great opportunity for lots of us, because not everyone owns a car and can drive to a festival to actually go there. And since we were always like with 50 people or more, we would always have someone to hang around with. It was a really great bonding experience, so everyone was really close, everyone knew each other, and those road trips really enforced that family feeling that we had. Now I also went to Wave Gothic Treffen in 2011, and that was really a eye-opener for me. I saw so many gorgeous people and I really felt like I belonged there. I was never the most outgoing person, but there I could talk to almost anyone and they would just talk to me and be friendly, and there were lots of people who were so dressed up so nicely that it really inspired me to go even more out there with my look. Now in 2013 is the year that most parties stopped. 2013, 2014, up till now we don't have a lot anymore. The only party I still attend is Infected, and Infected actually had a period that it was coexisting with Nocturna and with Vampire Party, and now it's the only one that still remains, which is a real pity. Now there have been some smaller events that try to launch off. There was one event who cancelled their first party like a half hour before it would start, so lots of people were already at the venue and they cancelled it. Another party stopped because they didn't sell enough tickets, because they wanted to rely on tickets that were sold beforehand. And finally, the one party, the bigger party here in Belgium that I would love to attend, but every year there's something that gets between me and going to that party. Next year I am going for sure. I will clear my schedule for it. I will tell my family no, not that weekend, because there is an amazing event here in Belgium. It is called Colscaramonium. Now Colscaramonium is really a magical event. It is a one-day deal, so it starts in the afternoon if I'm not mistaken. They actually have live performances, they have shows, they have a fashion runway, so they really combine a lot of elements of the Gothic subculture into one. And just generally here in Belgium there's not a lot of goth people out there anymore. And I personally think it is a real shame that not more people know of the goth scene, are involved in the goth scene. So I think it's really a shame that goth has become a fashion trend, because after all, that's what I'm noticing. A lot of big brands are focusing on the goth scene. For example, Killstar, Restyle, those are brands that are specifically made catered towards goth, but I think they miss the essentials. Now what I really miss is people looking behind the clothes, because for a lot of people goth is just a fashion trend, and I think that should change. I'd rather have less people, even less than there are right now, involved in the goth scene that actually know what it is about and the roots of it, and that can appreciate them, than people who just see it as a fashion trend, as something you can buy in a box or buy online and be goth because you dress like it. Please let me know in the comment section how the goth scene is where you live. I would love to know. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Maybe even subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you here. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!